So I'm heading over to the Tamashii spot again, a showroom that displays the latest Tamashii Nation's products. They are available in many locations around the world. Today I'm heading over to the one in Hong Kong, located on the 10th floor of the shopping mall, Langham Place. And inside it does give us a opportunity for a first look at the figures in person and as a collection. As you can see, Tamashii brand is made up of many sub-brands, including one of my favorites, the SH Figuarts, and inside you will be given the opportunity to see some of each. They also have a screen on the outside to show the most recent releases, including the Nick Fury and Gamora. Both figures I did review. Also on the outside, at the center of the glass display, is where they are promoting some of their latest and most popular figures. Of course, the lines that interest me the most being Marvel, DC and Dragon Ball is normally placed there when there's a new release. And there hasn't been anything for this week, so I believe these are the most recent and popular releases for this week. And of course this does change time to time, so maybe next week it will be something different. So that's a quick look on the outside, and now we can go in for the rest of the collection. At the center of display and the most eye-catching is to promote their most recent blockbuster movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, as they have a variety of the SH monsters. And here are the upcoming scheduled May releases of the SH monsters, Godzilla and Kong, ready to do battle on this fantastic display of a city base. And this is one of the things I like about a Tamashii spot, is you sometimes get to see the figures on a really nice base, which of course isn't for sale. And on the underside of the display is one of Godzilla's enemies with the Biolante special colored version. And next up is another really popular brand for the Tamashii Nations, something they have a huge collection of, and that is the Kamen Riders. And they have them displayed really nicely with many different colors in different poses. And as you can see on each tag, they also have the name as well as the retail price as well. And above we have some of the anime robot classics with the Gordian Warriors from the Soul of the Chogokin. And more of the SH monsters on display. And here is something I've seen for the first time and I'm really excited for, and that is Kaneda's bike from the 1988 classic Akira. And I believe this bike is made for a 1/6 scale figure, but hopefully this will open doors for some of the characters as well. And more recent releases on display, including the Jujutsu Kaisen figures. And now we can take a look at the Figuarts Zero, which are statues for many popular animes, including One Piece. And here they have a huge range on display, including the classic ship, the Thousand Sunny. So Figuarts Zero already have a line of One Piece figures, but I believe these are the most recent releases, and even though they are statues and lack articulation, I really like the colors and the effort they put in the bases. And with these statues already in these classic poses, it really comes alive when you put them together. And more Figuarts Zero from another anime classic, Naruto. and it looks like they've taken these display bases onto another level. And it's not just large scale figures, we also have some of the Figuarts Mini. And now for the Robot Spirits collection. And even though I'm not a collector of these figures, I think they look great on display, especially with the colored backgrounds as well as the well-built bases. Again, if they are not included with the figure, this is only exclusive for the Tamashii spot. And if you're into anime and manga, this is one of the most popular franchises in the world with the Gundam collection. And over here they do have a really nice display of the larger and smaller scales, including some of the most popular characters. And to round off the robot section, we have some of the NX Edge styles on display. And now for the franchise that probably needs little introduction. It is one of the biggest anime and mangas around the world, Dragon Ball. And for Tamashii Nations, they have made a huge collection of their characters from Figuarts Zero to the SH Figuarts, and of course they will have a massive display here at the Tamashii spot. So Dragon Ball had a lot of good childhood memories for me personally, and as an Asian kid growing up in the West but also having access to go back to Asia, I actually watched a lot of the manga and TV series before a lot of my friends. So whenever I went to school and wore a t-shirt of Goku or Vegeta and brought in the action figure toys, a lot of them were very curious. Of course, by the mid-90s, Dragon Ball exploded onto the scene in the West, and since then they've never looked back. And even though there's many Dragon Ball figures out there, probably the best ones is the Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts. Not only do they have almost every character in the line, but their lightness and articulation and detail is probably second to none. And if you do follow the Dragon Ball line for the SH Figuarts, there are many figures that are high in demand, and of course the prices have gone up, since some of them are also exclusives as well. And with such a huge line and more figures to come, this is probably the best line of figures for the Tamashii Nations in my opinion. So I've got to give credit to Bandai and Tamashii Nations for being so consistent and looking to make almost every character from the Dragon Ball line. And even though the SH Figuarts is so popular, they are looking to expand their line with some of the larger scale characters, including the Imaginations Works Goku. So like the other lines, of course they're trying to put the latest figures on display, but for Dragon Ball it's such a huge collection, so they are trying to mix and match the characters and really have a variety of them on display in this showroom. And even though I love Dragon Ball, I only have a few of the characters from the SH Figuarts, and I probably won't look to collect every single character from the lines. As you know, with my channel I am mostly focusing on the Marvel and DC section, so of course I'm still looking to expand on those first, and then maybe in the future I'll go back and look to pick up some of the main characters from the lines. I also noticed they haven't used any backgrounds or bases for this collection. I guess with the Dragon Ball line, it's such a huge one, and with all the characters mixed together it looks good enough and definitely is eye-catching. Of course this is the most recent releases, so maybe next month they'll change it up again. They also have the Body-chan and Body-kun on display, and below we have the small DC collection. In the past they have put out some of the Dark Knight figures as well as the Justice League line, but today we only have 3 of the characters, with the 1989 classic Batman, as well as Wonder Woman from the Wonder Woman 84 movie. Of course the Golden Eagle armor will be released in May, and I'm sure they'll display it here very soon. And finally we have Harlequin from the recent movie Birds of Prey. And since the DC universe has been a bit of a stop-start, it's kind of reflected on the release of their characters as well. And now for the Marvel Cinematic Universe line, which I have been following, and they have had a collection since 2013 and are still going strong. And the current display here today is going to be the most recent releases, starting off with Loki from the first Avengers movie, and below we also have Thanos, the Endgame Final Battle Edition, of course displayed with the rocks, and I believe the one on the side wasn't included in the figure box, so again this is exclusive for the Tamashii showroom, and the recent Gamora figure from the Avengers Infinity War line. And again, this is what I like about the Tamashii spot, it does give you ideas for some of the posing. We also have the second Captain Marvel SH Figuarts with the Avengers Endgame version, which is probably in its best pose with all the effects. And we also have the second Scarlet Witch figure. This one of course does include the alternate head sculpt and the flame effects as a base, and it was under the title Endgame. And then we also have the Iron Spider Endgame Final Battle Edition, which of course is an improvement to the Infinity War version, and it does include the Nano Gauntlet. We also have the most iconic scene from the MCU with the Tony Stark Iron Man Mark 85 figure on the base. We also have the second Endgame 4 figure on display, just like Scarlet Witch, with an alternate head sculpt and some new lightning effects. And behind we have the second Infinity War Doctor Strange figure, this time dubbed as Battle on Titan version, and this one includes new effects as well as the soft cape. And probably a must for a display is the Avengers Endgame Final Battle Captain America. This time an improvement to the original with the Mjolnir and effects, the aggressive face as well as the damaged armor and shield. And we also have one of my favorite Iron Man armors from the SH Figuarts. It is the Iron Man Mark 85 from the Avengers Endgame Final Battle Edition. And the figure has many accessories, but this is probably the best pose you can have with the launcher and the effects. And if we look to the side, we also get a Iron Man Mark 7 on display in this flying pose, and this was a re-release under the title Birth of Iron Man series, which basically has a new colorway for the Mark 7. And we also have the Avengers Endgame Cap vs Cap, which is essentially the first Avengers Captain America look, so it will be interesting when they do release that figure and to compare the two. And we also have last year's release of the Iron Man Mark 1, which of course is one of the most iconic armors since it was the one that started things off in the MCU. And to round it off, we have the Tony Stark in the Builder armor attire, which again is from the Birth of Iron Man series. So I hope you enjoyed this visit at the Tamashii spot. If you want to see more figures on display, check out my recent video. I will put the link in the description below. Also like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.